2. Hello everyone, good morning. So, welcome back to me again. I am Anis Rumaidayati. So, in this day, I have the new material. The material is about, you know? Okay, and today I would like to explain about the current teaching methodology in grammar. So, and yesterday I explained about the current teaching methodology in vocabularies, but today I would like to explain about current teaching methodology in the grammar. Okay, next. And the current teaching methodology in grammar has the special material that's right, and yesterday about the vocabularies, and today it is about the grammar, because the grammar is the basic one if you want to speaking, if you want to writing. Okay, there is quote for me. The quote for me is always keep spirit. Don't be shy. Okay, and there are table of the content in the current teaching methodology in the grammar. The number one is about the introduction, right? Okay, there's always introduction, and the next day about the meaning of the current teaching methodology and the grammar. And number three is about the strategy, and the next is about the practice. So, and to the next time, and we will explain about the four table of content from current teaching methodology and the grammar. Okay, and the next is about the grammar. Do you know what the meaning of grammar? Maybe in your minds is grammar like a simple past or simple present, or maybe simple tense or the future or the past tense and so on. Yes, this is one of the kind in the grammar, so this is established in the grammar. But not all the grammar is about tenses. The grammar is a set result of the explore the form or structure of the sentence that can be used in a language. It is from lesson and rhetoric. There are two important concepts related to grammar: morphology that studies the formation of words, and then their structure and relationship between them, and syntax that studies the structure of sentence relationship between sentence units. So it is many. And then there are kind of in the grammar, not the tenses, not the gerund, not the present and sentence, but it is complexity is about the grammar. Okay, the teaching grammar, the meaning of teaching grammar. I think if you read the background of the study, and at least we know that it's about the teaching. It is all of the lesson, right? It is teaching math and teaching grammar, speaking, teaching Islamic study, is Islamic lesson, and maybe a language and other languages. I think we must know this about the teaching. So the teaching grammar has a special meaning that there has always been a central aspect for language teaching. In some countries, grammar translation method was widely used in teaching grammar. It was believed that grammar competence constituted the backbone of language acquisition. So, there is relationship like English language teaching with education, and then tell, and then travel, and so more. So, yes, I think this is always improving our teaching. Okay, next. Okay, and next number 3 is I would like to explain about the strategy. Wow, this is the main important if you want to teaching this all of the lesson, right? This teaching grammar and this vocabularies, on the listening, on the writing, and then so more. Okay, goal to teach. Yes. On the other hand, the teaching recently seems to become more popular than the grammar teaching mentioned above. Its nation is in line with what the current Indonesia curriculum has attempted to reach the chairman of the Indonesia Minister of Education and Culture in his speech. A teacher should become a facilitator in the classroom. Also, there should be change in the teaching and learning process, from transferring knowledge or giving information by the teacher to the student, then allowing students to find information by themselves. This is the goal to teach. Okay, and the next is about teaching grammar. This thing is important for all of the teaching grammar, right? The way how the grammar should be, the talk has become a long deliberation among the scholar. The question of whether grammar should be taught implicit or explicit is one of the is still being constantly aliency. The former declared teachers have been advised to teach grammar in context as an alternative to stand-alone grammar lesson and the unit. Okay, and in the teaching grammar using communicative or CLT, that's example, right? Example in the teaching grammar using communicative or CLT, because there are strategy if you want to teaching like CLT, discovery learning, and it's like blended learning and so more. But instead using teaching grammar using communicative CLT is there are four. The number one is using songs, and the next is picture and the maps, and then games, and the next is poems. So because the grammar is familiar with like yes, reading, SIT in the sentence and content. The content is like if the first activity is we must read the first, and then we should understand about the context, about the content, and then how to be conclusion, how do we get the information from this article and so on. Okay, teaching grammar using explanation. And the last is about the practicing. Okay, the first methodology is strategy and CLT games. Okay, number one is about games. How to teaching grammar about games. The number one is a student are supposed to work in the pairs. So one student asks to be a Mr. Goose and other to Goose how by using yes or no question. At least content for language teacher is to make the student use the language communicative after release of communicative competence, activities, and techniques that are task orientation, and the let the student to use language creatively have get importance. This is what counts. Okay, we must to using songs. Okay, in using songs, since meaning is an important device in teaching grammar, it is important to contextual any grammar point. Songs are one of the most enhancing and cultural resources, and then that can be used in the teaching grammar. Poems. Okay, the poem contextual is the grammar lesson effectively like the songs. However, poetry is spoken, debated, do with, and considered in X as effective tool to practice a specific grammatical structure. And it's not poem, but maybe in song and the film, and there are many sentences like in this different structure, and then we can know about the grammatical structure to be present. And then we practice, so we analyze what the grammar in the sentences or the gerund, the verses, sentence, word, and so more. Okay, and the strategy and CLT, and the last is using picture and the maps. And maybe in junior high school or in the junior high school, elementary school, yes, I think using picture and maps is important, and people like this picture and then maps because this the grade, and then like the child it is like picture, maps, and the games. But maybe in senior high school we prefer to using songs and maybe or games or poem, because this contact is so the higher things. And the next is strategy CLT. Okay, maps and picture can be used as a practical and simple visual and in the classroom, and especially to illustrate a certain grammatical structure. And then maps can stimulate learning use of number one is prepositional phrases, and then prepositional phrases up the street on the left over the hills. And number 2 is question formulation, where how do I get there, can you tell me where is, imperative, go walk out, and for, and etc. Picture are also interesting and the simple teach grammar. I can be the from person, object, or active. Picture can be used to practice in stating the location. Okay, this is the strategy CLT using picture and maps. So if you want to teaching the grammar is there is strategy or to teaching the grammar, like example CLT, and maybe in CLT and the next meeting I will explain also in deeply about CLT, but this is the main point is the teaching grammar. Okay, and the second methodology is teaching grammar using explanation. Teaching grammar using explanation is maybe in the higher grade, like in senior high school and student of the college, and not in the elementary school and in the junior high school. The explanation is like the source of from the mouth, source from the explanation, pure from the teacher, pure from the friends, and then must open our ear and the mouth, and then we must write down, and then we must focus if you want to get the from information about the using explanation. Yes, I think like this. In this technique, the teacher are focusing on the form. In some situation, it may be essential to go on the textbooks and to go along with the student effort to relate textbook rules with the example, and teacher tell the student about the explicit grammatical rules. Sometimes, depending on the level of difficulty of particular grammatical structure, student may be asked to open the books to the certain bits. Okay, this is explanation. Example, if you want to, and there is the picture in my PowerPoint. In using simple present, we add the ending s or es. A verb if the subject is the first person singular, that is when it refers to she and it, he. Okay, and we just have the infinitive of the verb of the way it is in the dictionary we taught to. You can use present simple tense to describe what you and other usually often sometimes. So it is simple present. There are the three formula. There is the positive, negative, and interrogative. In the positive is subject, verb, and then verb is the plus the s or es or no. So in object, and then negative is subject plus do or does, and then verb one, and then the object. And the next is the interrogative is do or does, and then subject and the verb plus one, and then object plus in the question mark. This is example if the using explanation pure meaning from the search from the teacher. Yes. Okay, next. And the conclusion from this explanation or from in this presentation is, from the explanation above, it can be concluded that there are some ways to teaching grammar. Teacher can use communicative technique, meaning based or explanation one from the past in presenting game song through maps or the picture. Each has their own strength and weakness compared. Okay, it is compared with the other strategy, and then technique will make the teaching process interesting, and the student will not get bored in Indonesia CLT. So, and this is the teaching grammar. And thank you very much for me. It's maybe if you want to explain, if you want to asking maybe, if you want to deploy or improve your grammar, yes, you must often read the grammar, and then exercise the question, and then don't be lazy if you want to reading this movie, this poem, the article, yes, using English language and so more. Okay, see you. Thank you for me. I am Rohmah H. See you, goodbye, and I think this are useful in your life. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.